Hi everyone, happy Friday. It's Coach Kathy Stone, and I realized after my last video the other day I was going to do 5 tips to get through any withdrawal. Well, I only did 4, so I think I was a little nervous. So I wanted to give you tip number 5, which is one of the most important ones, really, and talk a little bit today about stigma and addiction. So tip number 5 is to walk through it day by day with courage. Just walk through each day and just pray and do anything you can except pick up. When I was withdrawing, like I said, it was one of the hardest things I ever went through. I just would pray all day. I would look at my watch and I would say, okay, for the next 5 minutes, I just only have to do this for 5 minutes, because it's not that I wanted to pick up. It was that the withdrawal was so uncomfortable. It was just really, really uncomfortable. And then at night, I used to just pray that if God got me through it, I would never use again. And I never did. And it's been like over 33 years. So I kept that promise to God because he got me through that hard time. So once you go through withdrawal from drugs and alcohol, or anything else for that matter, you never have to go through it again. And you find a whole new world. You really do. You really do. I can't even tell you what my life is like today. It's so awesome. So just keep moving forward. And I was thinking about doing these videos, and doing these videos for me is kind of like going through withdrawal, because it's really scary putting yourself out there. And I just have had to walk through it day by day and trust that I'm going to get better. But it's, it feels awkward and uncomfortable, but I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm not going to quit, because I've been on and off the video wagon for several years now. I've wanted to do videos for a long time, but I get scared and then I quit. And so I've been on and off the video wagon, and I'm staying on the wagon, or I'm at least committed to it today, just for one day. And I've had to I was thinking about it, I had to have like over 20 days of personal development this year to get the courage to be able to get on a live video and share with you, all this information. So think what somebody that is struggling with drugs needs in order to get over their, addiction. If it took me 20 days plus a lot of immersing myself around people that are doing videos all the time, getting inspiration, having several, different coaches, it takes a lot of support to make changes in your life. Trust me, I've made a lot of changes, and it's like learning a new language. You have to immerse yourself in it. So it's a lot easier to learn a new language when you go to the foreign country and you just are forced to learn it. Well, it's the same way with any kind of addiction. You have to immerse yourself into recovery. With anything you're trying to change in your life, you have to immerse yourself, be surrounded by people that can support you and give you inspiration. And that, like I said, goes for any kind of thing that you want to change in your life. And just never quit. Just keep going and keep trying, because eventually something will click, like it did for me this year, where I am gonna do it. So get immersed. So I wanted to, and that's why we need probably longer treatment programs and longer term, aftercare programs, because I don't know, when people get put back in their original environments, it's so easy to fall back into your old ways. I mean, even for me, I would get motivated when I was in California to do videos, but then I would come back to Baltimore and I'd be like, I'm not doing videos. So it's kind of the same thing, even though it's different. In any case, I wanted to talk about stigma. And I love addiction, because the addiction model, I should say, because it helped me change so many areas of my life and just really really be free. And thank you all for watching. I'm so glad you're here. Hey, Carol. yeah, it helped me just really change all these areas of my life. So I really love the addiction model. But no matter how many years I have in recovery and all the things I've overcome, I still, when I tell people that I struggled with drugs and alcohol, I still hold my breath wondering, if they're going to change their opinions of me. I still have that. But I know the more I talk about it, I take the power away. It takes the power away. I was thinking about my husband who had shoulder surgery in 2011, and he's been rehabbing his shoulder for years. He plays tennis and he's always going to different physical therapists, and it'll flare up. And when he got his shoulder surgery, I wouldn't think twice about lying to his tennis friends and saying, they would ask me, where's Ed? And I wouldn't lie to them and tell them, hide the fact that he was having surgery. I was like, oh, he's having surgery. He's going to physical therapy. He's getting rehab. But when it comes to our mental or emotional, states, we are just there's so much stigma and we don't talk about it. And we really need to talk about it more because it is a medical condition. Addiction, substance use disorder, which is the new term, it's a medical condition. It really is. And it needs, rehab and therapy, just like a shoulder or just like, a knee or a back. It just needs a lot of therapy, to get it better. So if you can think of it that way, it's just a different way of looking at it. And we just, we gotta not lie about it. We have to be honest, because, like I said, it's a medical condition, and it's just like emotional surgery. So we need not to have any judgment. We need to have compassion for others because we all struggle with making changes in our lives. Have you ever wanted to change something in your life and you just thought it was too hard? Or you started and you did it for a few days and then you're like, oh my God, this is too hard. I'm going to have to go back. That's exactly like what, it feels like for people that are withdrawing sometimes. They get, a few days and they're like, oh, this is too hard, So maybe it's a diet for you. Maybe you've been on a diet and you're like, oh, I can't do this. And then you go back. Well, that's the same thing. So we need to have compassion for other people because we're all trying to make our lives better. We're all trying to move forward. I know I want to make some changes in my life. It's tough to change. We need a lot of support, and we just have to have more compassion for people. So those are just a few thoughts on my on stigma, and let me know if you guys ever have any questions or need anything, and I will see you next time. Have a great weekend.